Well, we're still here fighting it, and it occurs to me that I just ain't happy with this. I don't like that. So, this is probably going to get cut out, and this is going to get installed. Now, this didn't just manifest out of nowhere. I'll put that in there and back set a little bit so the outside edge will be flush with this. And it'll give me about, what'd you say, 1/2 inch. And then the center of this should cup. The fork should just fit in there. But this one I'm started on. And I feel like nobody believes that I can do this stuff because it's always a video of what I just did and not me doing something. So we'll see if this works. Got quite the setup here, but with a flat piece on your bar, and you can't just kink it, you got to work it with the hammer a little bit. Start off the side. Usually a good bench will sit square. This one ain't a good one. And you just slowly work it right around the radius of the bar. Now there's a good chance this will be the most boring thing you'll see all day, maybe even all week. Well, Tuesday night there's probably going to be something real boring going on too. With the continual working, you'll see, make sure I'm picking that up, you'll see that starting to roll. And you can't just bend it because it'll kink right down the middle. So, in order to get this from this, care must be taken. So, it's not fun, it's not easy, and it's not fast. But it's necessary. So you just work it little by little, and what I'm doing is I'm putting this edge right along the radius. I guess I can do it this way, I'm not left-handed, but you don't hang it way over, you just hang it a little bit, and you work that. You don't go crazy, you just get it to roll a little bit, and then you step over and you do the next area. It's kind of awkward because I'm not left-handed, but you'll roll it. I'll just keep working it this way. You can look at the back of my hand for a while. Sometimes you can even cheat, slide it up in the clamp up there, and that helps hold it. And you just work the edges, and you work toward the middle. Boring and tedious. Sometimes you do got to give her a little bit of just a little snug tweak, just to make sure it starts to form. And you'll see I got 3 ribs here going on, and I'll work those out as we go. Now I don't have a large following, so there's probably not hundreds of metal workers going to point out everything I'm doing wrong, but I've accepted the fact that most of what I'm doing is wrong. But the more you work it, the rounder it gets, and the better it looks. And you just go nice and slow, flat hammer blows. You don't want to stand it up and dent it. As you'll notice, this is very minimally dented. Just a few little marks, which when I weld it in there, it'll blend and I'll grind it, try to make it smooth. But this looks good. That's going to be the inside of the tank. This will be the outside of the tank. But this one actually needs a little more work, so I might just jump over and work on this. It's like a cooking show. I got one done and I got one in the recipe. But just keep working it. Sometimes you gotta get a little violent and bigger hammer. This is pretty thin material. But if I had a fancy roller, I'd just put it in there and roll it through and then tighten her up. And then roll it through. I don't have a roller. I don't even have a good way to hold my phone there. Since YouTube's not a source of monetary income, it ain't going to be a source of monetary expenditure either. That's neither here nor there. Nor does it apply to metalwork. We'll just feel like Bob Ross. We'll just keep working that right around there. That's a happy little piece of metal. Look, he's smiling at you. Just keep on working it. Test fitting and hammering, and you can do do this in your own garage. This stuff ain't expensive, and it ain't like it's rare tools. I think this hammer's probably twice my age. I tell you to turn the volume down, but then you couldn't hear my funny commentary. Sometimes your clamp loosens up, but we'll mess with that later. You just can't be in a big hurry. It'll work in its own time. I'm switching back and forth, and I really need to do it on this side a little bit. This corner's starting to get a little high. Just roll in there, like so. Oh, geez. Well, there goes that. Hey, I'll tell you, we're a low budget operation here at Tricycle Enterprise. And there, it's slowly coming into shape. I won't bore you to death with all the details of making this one the same way, but there'll be a community post or a video when they're both done, and maybe even cutting the tank out. But there's your little metal working skill. Like I said, I'm not a how-to channel, so I know I'm doing it wrong, and you should know I'm doing it wrong also.